Hi everyone, welcome to our next video, which is going to be on the dreaded query letter. So the query letter is the letter that you send to agents to try and get them to represent your novel. So agents can represent you for just that one novel, or sometimes, and this is the ideal scenario, they'll represent you for your entire career, for all your novels. So what's the purpose of a query letter? Well, it's all about grabbing the attention of the agent amongst a huge slush pile of other submissions as well. Agents quote various numbers for the number of submissions they get a week, but they can number in the hundreds. So if they're getting hundreds of submissions a week, which they are only reading in a very small fraction of their working time, often doing the reading out with working hours, then you're going to have to grab their attention really quickly. And it's important to have a query letter which is well crafted, which follows rough industry guidelines, but we'll talk about exceptions later, and also very quickly tells the agent what the story's about and where it's going to fit in the marketplace roughly. I mean, you don't have to be an expert on this obviously with just a query letter, but if you can help them to say, yes, this book is about X, Y, Z and it will sell because it's very like X and Y, then that's probably going to help them with their immediate impressions of it. So what does a query letter actually comprise of? Well, there's several parts, and I've got a little formula which I use and you might find useful or not. There are so many resources online for writing a successful query letter, and what I'll do as well is I'll put my own successful query letter up in the video in a few minutes, and you can have a quick look through it as well. And it's also available online in one of my blog posts actually, my query letter, so I'll put a wee link to that as well. After the salutations, you know, the dear whomever, and try and get that right, because one of the most annoying things that I see agents tweeting about is that people put dear, sir, madam, etc. on their query letters. So don't do that. Just use their names and treat them like normal humans, because that's what they are. Don't treat them like you're sending out a mass email through some sort of business channel. They are normal people, so just treat them like that. So how do you start off? Well, I always start off with salutation, and then I actually put in my one sentence pitch straight away. No messing around. Their time is valuable, so you want to immediately see if you can capture their attention. I would then go on and describe the main conflicts in the novel, the main gist of the novel, in 2 or 3 paragraphs. So you're looking at the character and their setting initially, then the insight and instant, the thing that's going to get all the ball rolling, then the series of conflicts and obstacles. We talked about this in our story video as well. Get all those in there, like stack the odds considerably against your main character. Make us feel that conflict and tension. Make sure as well that the thing that you establish that the character wants or needs or desires, ensure that that is something that's relatable to the people that are going to be reading it. And the more relatable you can make that, the more we're going to start rooting for them and saying, yes, that is a relatable goal, that is something I can understand someone wanting, and therefore we're more likely to root for that person when you are then stacking up all those conflicts against them. And I don't think it's a good idea, and I think this is the general industry advice, to give away the ending. So just try and finish off with a sort of dilemma. Can our hero, you know, save the world? Can Moana save her island and the rest of the world from the darkness of Te Fiti? Or, you know, can Moana convince Maui in time to defeat Te Fiti and save the world? Or whatever. Now actually I said save the world there. That's actually really rubbish stakes. We'll talk about stakes in a different video, but just to briefly touch on it just now, stakes which are impersonal and massive like that don't really mean a lot. Like save the world, alright, okay, fair enough. But actually, if you can give me stakes which are personalised to the major character, and I can relate to those stakes, and they are tied in with the conflicts and with the emotion of the story, then that's going to be a far more successful set of stakes than if Save the World. Okay, so actually, Moana wants to save her family and her people. That's far more relatable and personalised stakes than Save the World, which is what I said initially. So there you go, that's the kind of thing I would put in the bulk of the query letter, the midsection. I would then include a paragraph where I'd maybe put in some details about yourself, maybe any relevant qualifications or experiences that you've had. I'm emphasising the word relevant. No need to put in like what time of night you like to write at, or which I've done, or how many cats you've got or anything daft like that. No need for that. Stick to things which are going to indicate to the agent why you are a good person to tell that particular story. Word count, genre, age category. These are the main things. You can include comps if you want. Some people like them, some don't. I quite like them. They give me an idea of the kind of feel of the novel, but you know, totally subjective. So you know, include them, don't include them. That's whatever. And then finish off with a little polite message of thank you for your time and consideration or whatever. If you would like to request any more, feel free to get in touch, or something a similar sort of feel to it. Okay. And one thing I always tell people with when you're trying to sell a book or an idea is to try and make it as high concept as possible. I've seen a lot of people asking for that in their manuscript wish list, high concept stuff. And what that means is it's a high concept's like an easily communicatable idea, something which has got high stakes, but also we can all relate to. Something which is very easy to sell, and they always talk about how you know, the film Alien, which was directed by Ridley Scott, I think in the 1970s, that was sold as Jaws in space, you know, which is fairly considered fairly high concept. I am currently writing a novel at the moment set in space, and my high concept sort of pitch is that it's Seven, the detective film, meets Sin City in space. And that gives you a sort of striking and easily communicatable idea of what the novel's about, and that's key. Making things as easy, as striking, as eye-catching, as engaging as you can for the agent as possible. You want to just reel them in so that they will then get to your pages, because ultimately the pages are what matter. You know, the query letter, yes, important. You do want them to be engaged by a query letter, but I guess the ultimate aim and the thing that really counts is them getting to your pages. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you a little bit with your query letter and the way you organise it and the things to include. If you want to ask me any questions, feel free. I'm always on social media, as you know. And just like to finish off by saying good luck and may the force be with you.